Hello everyone, and welcome to the Moeller organ. This organ was built in 1946. One of the main questions I get is, why does Trinity need two organs? Well, the simple answer is we don't. But the Wilhelm organ is built in a Baroque style, which is not really suitable for the Anglican Episcopal liturgy. Plus, sitting up there, I am way far away from the choir. I'd never be able to communicate with them, and that organ just doesn't have the expressive capabilities that is required for our liturgical style. So this Moeller organ, as I said, was built in 1946. From what I can gather, it originally had 24 ranks, or 24 sets of pipes. Now it only has 12. I assume that the other half of the pipes were housed in the back of the church where the Wilhelm organ now is. Through various upgrades, some of the pipes were moved into the front chambers. I'm sure most of them were already here, but they are now all kind of crammed in there, which has not been a good thing because they're very tightly packed together. Maintenance is difficult, and the sound quality has just suffered because of poor maintenance. So the poor installation in those chambers combined with the poor materials from the 40s. If you think about what was happening in the 40s, World War II was happening. So all of the main materials, all of the good quality materials were all going to the war effort. So materials for building pipe organs were secondary. So we didn't have the same quality that the Wilhelm organ has in the 70s when good quality labor and materials were more prevalent. So unfortunately, that means that a lot of the pipes up in these chambers are not in good shape. Some of them are dead, and the sound quality is just not what we would hope. So, leaving all that aside, let's just talk about the main differences between this style organ and the Wilhelm organ. So this organ is in more of a romantic style, which allows me to be more expressive. So what that means is that I can make the sound louder and softer without adding and subtracting pipes, which allows for a greater sense of expression. I can also change stops just by pushing these buttons called pistons. So I can change one stop, or I can change a whole mass of stops. This gives me a lot of flexibility to go from very loud to very soft very quickly, which is something that the Wilhelm does not allow me to do. So principally, these organs are the same. You have keyboards, you have stops, and you have pipes. The main differences, as I just said, are the expressive capabilities with the buttons and with the swell shoes down here, which open and close the shades, which allow the sound to get louder and softer. So this organ in particular, this console was part of one of the upgrades in the 90s, and is actually a lot bigger than it needs to be. The only part of the console which actually functions for the Moeller organ is this part and these parts over here. So just the lower part over here. The rest of these stops are all for the Wilhelm organ, which used to be controlled by this console, and there are a fair number of digital stops, including bells, and my favorite is a drum set. But my absolute favorite is the gong. Which I have never used in a church service. So Whereas this console is a lot bigger than it needs to be. It could easily be about half the size. If the console were smaller, it would allow me to see the nave and communicate with the choir. Right now, it is impossible for me to see the nave and the choir. If we were to turn the console so I could see the nave, I would not be able to communicate with the choir. And obviously, communication with the choir is very, very important when I'm leading choral music. So that is basically what this organ is about down here. I'm not going to demonstrate the stops because I did a similar thing up the Wilhelm, and it functions principally the same. So what I'm going to do now is play you something and demonstrate a little bit about how these buttons change the stops while I am playing and change the sound. So it actually is possible to play music like this on the Wilhelm organ. It's just I would need to play it in a slightly different way, choose the stops a little bit more differently, and just make different choices so I can still communicate the piece well. So as I said a little bit earlier, some of these stops don't work completely because of the quality materials and the maintenance. So like for example, this note on the trumpet is permanently dead. We've tried to fix it, but the pipe is just beyond repair. And there's also a note down here. There, that one. Kind of right in the middle of the keyboard, which is a little inconvenient, but we work around it when we can. So I think that is it for this particular tour. In my next video, I will actually take you up into the pipe chambers and show you what's happening up there, the state of the pipes and how things are kind of crammed in and some of the electrical issues that are up there. I hope you are all well, staying safe and staying healthy, and I will talk to you again soon. Thanks, Trinity.